Distinguished colleagues, I rise to second this motion moved by Senator Tony Rozier and also seek the leave of Mr. President to make my comment as well. Thank you, Mr. President.
Proceed.
Thank you. This motion has come at a very right time where the country is yearning for a change of attitude concerning the local government administration in Nigeria. We want to commend the executive for taking the initiative to go to Supreme Court to further guarantee the autonomy of local government in Nigeria. And you can see that the effort of that Supreme Court judgment is also yielding results to the extent that every state in Nigeria is now rushing to conduct local government election to qualify them to get their normal statutory allocation going to the local government. But the law did not say that the states should tamper with the funds going to the local government. It didn't say so. And the Supreme Court didn't also say so. So I want to support this motion by urging the Senate that if there is nothing this 10th Senate will achieve, it is this local government autonomy. I recalled in Kano 2 weeks ago when we had the retreat on constitutional review led by the Deputy Senate President. This issue of local government autonomy was one of the major issues that we discussed. Mr. President, in supporting this motion, I would like to recall that there is urgent need to amend Section 7 of 1999 Constitution as amended to further guarantee the autonomy of local government. This Constitution says that local government is the third tier of government. We have 3 tiers of government in Nigeria: the federal, the state, and local government. So local government should be allowed to exercise that responsibility of a third tier of government. And I believe that is what this nation should be talking about. So in any attempt of any state, House of Assembly, trying to make law that will now mandate this revenue coming to local governments to be controlled by another account before the money goes to the local government, I think is undermining the Supreme Court judgment. So they should allow local governments who have already conducted an election for these monies to be paid directly into the coffers of those local governments. So I believe that, Mr. President, when we come to the prayers, because there are so many prayers, I think the prayers shouldn't be more than 2. But when we come to the prayers, we'll also make an amendment to make it look more elegant. I so support, Mr. President.
This is the name Muhammad Adamalu, representing the people of Kebbi Center. Mr. President, I come under constitutional point of order. Order 287. Section 287 of the Constitution. Section 287 of the Constitution. With your permission, Mr. President, I want to read.
Please proceed.
The decision of the Supreme Court shall be enforced in any part of the Federation by all authorities and persons and by courts with subordinate jurisdiction to that of the Supreme Court. Mr. President, I raise the point of order simply because the Supreme Court judgment, which distinguished Senator Tony Rozier referred to, is a Supreme Court pronouncement. It's a decision of the court, and it must be enforced by all persons and authorities in Nigeria. So I believe discussing this issue will amount to overcrowding it, or overflowing the issue. So the court has already decided that the money of the local government councils should be released directly to the councils. And for us to start debating it, it's going against the spirit of the Constitution, since there is already a constitutional provision to that effect.
Okay.
Distinguished Senator Alero, constitutional point of order. If I were to further assist Distinguished Senator Alero, I will refer all of us to section 162, subsection 6 of the Nigerian Constitution. And with your permission, I'll read. Section 162, subsection 6 says, each state shall maintain a special account to be called State Joint Local Government Account, into which shall be paid such allocations to the local government councils of that state from the federation account and from the government of the states. What that means is that we have a larger duty to do than to debate. So in my experience as a former commissioner for local government, the state government also has a part of its monthly allocation, which it contributes to the local governments. So in obeying the Supreme Court decision, we should also consider doing the needful legally to ensure that any state government that wishes to pay money to any local government has its own contribution to the running of the local government on a monthly basis, thus so directly to the local governments. But we must take cognizance of the need to tinker with section 162, subsection 6 of the Constitution. So the point of order is sustained.
Order. Order.
Yes,
And based on the deliberation that was made by this august Senate in the just concluded executive session, I stand to move on behalf of this august Senate for the approval of two prayers in respect of the motion that was brought before this august Senate by Senator Tony Umwe, thereby discarding the earlier prayers in the motion as brought by him. The two prayers are as follows. All states and local governments to fully comply with the recent Supreme Court judgment on the disbursement and utilization of funds accruing to all local governments in Nigeria. One prayer is as follows: that the Senate ensures alterations to relevant provisions of the Constitution to provide for the full autonomy of the local governments in Nigeria. Mr. President, I so move.
by the Deputy Senate President that the Senate should immediately take steps to go through the procedures of altering any section of the Constitution or any law to give birth to full autonomy of local governments in Nigeria. Those in support of the prayer as moved and seconded say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Let me use this opportunity to thank my colleagues for all the contributions and thank distinguished Senator Autonomy, who brought up the motion bordering on attempts to circumvent the ruling of the Supreme Court. And I want to thank all of you for your contributions, and I assure you that the 10th Senate, working with our colleagues in the House of Representatives, will alter
any aspect of our constitution, amend any section of our laws to ensure full autonomy to local government administrations in this country, so that it will be recognized fully in action and in fact as a third tier of government of the Federation. So I thank you for the motions so far moved.